Hi friends, today we have an Amazon KDP video where I'm going to help medium content book creators get more sales for their activity books and coloring books. But these deep dive kind of videos will also be useful for all kinds of authors. So if you're doing high content books or low content books, stick around. I think you'll find lots of tips. And if you are interested in daily free training videos like this and just about Amazon KDP, make sure to subscribe to my channel. All right, so let's get right into this video. And in case you're new to the channel, Cleo and I have sold over 240,000 books between our different Amazon KDP accounts. And we have a free Amazon KDP group on Facebook with 230,000 members. And with our self-publishing Titans tools, we have helped over 300,000 authors. All right, so let's get into the first book review. And if you want your own book reviewed, you can go to selfpublishingtitans.com/review and then submit your book there. And I would love to get to it as fast as possible too. All right, so here we have a coloring book. So this is Q2 Simple Animal Coloring Book. And we can see that they have a bestseller rank of 8 million and currently not making any money or sales. So I think the two most obvious problems would be the title and subtitle are very, very short, and there's no niche down keywords in there that you can easily rank for. Animal coloring book is fine, but you want to have more sub-niches you can also target in your keywords. So having longer titles and subtitles, especially for coloring books, is really, really beneficial. So this is one big miss. And the cover, I think there's way too much white space as well. So it kind of just blends in with the Amazon website. Let's quickly use our Titans AI tool from the Titans Pro Chrome extension. And while this is loading quickly, if you go to the Chrome store and type in Self-Publishing Titans, you can just download this extension right here. This is our brand new one, and it basically combined our two old ones into one new one, and all new tools and features that are getting added are going only to this one. So make sure to get that one. So here we can just take a look at some competitors. So you can see that all of them basically have a lot more color in it or only color, and then you are the only one that has mostly white. So you kind of see that your book doesn't really stand out compared to the other ones. So you're just going to get a lot less click-through rate because of that. And let's quickly click on our Titans AI cover analysis. So this is our own AI tool that we have just published as part of our Chrome extension now. And our trained AI tool will give you a full analysis on your cover, your title, your full listing details, your reviews. So it's really cool. So here we can see that it says the title and author name could blend better with the colorful background elements. So it's also kind of true. If you look at it, it's kind of doesn't really stand out, especially just because it's also white. The mix of colors and styles slightly reduce immediate readability, especially in thumbnail size. So we're talking about the sun in the background here, so it makes it harder to read, which is true. The font for Cute Crew is fun, but could have stronger contrast or a shadow effect to improve visibility. This is also a great tip to make this better. Let's look at the opportunity section here, and it says adding a subtle background color or a framing element could make the cover pop more in a crowded Amazon marketplace. So I think this is also a great idea. Just adding a color could make this look much, much nicer. Incorporating a few colored in elements or sample coloring spots might also visually communicate the interactive and fun nature of the coloring book, attracting more buyers. And with this, I also totally agree. I think coloring books that show the coloring elements somewhat colored in, somewhat not colored in can also be really, really good for conversion rates. But let's take a look at the rest of your listing here. So we can see that you have a description, so that's good. The only thing here is that it's very, very short and you have no bullet points and no call to action. So I would definitely add 5 main bullet points about your coloring book, just so readers can instantly see what the book is about. And that will definitely also help you get more conversions. One thing I did like that you did well is the back cover here. I like that you're showing the different pages. So that's really well done for doing that totally correct. For medium content books, especially coloring books, that's really, really important to show that. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't see any A+ content. So this was published back in May, so if you did have A+ content, it would definitely be live by now. So for coloring books, you always want to have A+ content. You want to show more pages, either just the coloring pages or even colored in pages so people can visualize what it looks like afterwards. And then here in your author section, you have no profile picture and no description. So that's also just a big miss, and I highly encourage you to add that. You do have a rating review, which is good. So yeah, your main problem is just the cover and the title and subtitle. So I would suggest you unpublish this book and redo the cover. You can hire somebody on Fiverr and then use a title creation tool like our Titan AI tool or our dedicated title tool, just to really get the most advantage out of the keywords in your title and subtitle. And then I think with your next launch, you would do a lot better. So let's go on to the next one. So this is a book from France. So if you're from any other country, you can also submit your books. And I'm just going to use the Google Translate Chrome extension. So if you're from Italy or from France, Spain, or any other country, Germany, submit your books to me. I would love to check any language and help anybody out. This channel is all about helping the entire community, so it's not exclusive to only English books. So here we can see you have a bestseller rank in France of 32,000, and you are making some sales and royalties, so great job for making that happen. If you look at our Titans Pro Chrome extension here, we can see the bestseller rank. So we can see that you're definitely getting consistent sales already. So that's really good. So well done on getting sales. I also really like the cover. I like the colors. I like pretty much everything about it. I don't think I have any really recommendations of changes I would make. And this is probably one of the nicest covers I've seen. So great job on that. Let's take a look at your title and subtitle. Obviously this is translated with Google, so it might be slightly off, but we can see syllabic reading and cursive writing, complete method for learning to read and write in cursive, something line, simple sounds, and then for 5 to 7 years. And then I'm guessing this is maybe Unicorn Edition in color. So looking at this title, I can see that you have good keywords. So we're talking about reading and cursive writing. So those will be great keywords. I like that you're talking about learning to read and write in cursive. Also really good keywords. And then you're showing that it's simple and in 5 to 7 years. So that's all good. So overall, I think you did a great job on the title. Also really well done for getting 11 reviews already. That's excellent. And looking at the back, we can see there's some examples here, so it's also really good. For the back cover, the only improvement I could potentially say is that you could show even more interior pages so the customer can see exactly what they can expect besides just one example. But that's only a small suggestion. You could leave it, but you could also try my suggestion, see if it helps. Let's look at your A+ content. So that's beautiful. I love the image here. I like the colors. I also like this. The interior pages look really high quality. I also like these pages. I like that you have these dotted lines going through. There's also another great page, another good picture. So you're really doing pretty much everything right. I love that you have a picture and a nice description. So that's also really well done. And it looks like you have good categories, which is also always really important. And in your reviews, we have pictures and a video. So that's also really helpful. So overall, you're doing really great. Let's look at your description here. So for some reason, your description is cut off, but I can see that you have bullet points. My only recommendation here would be making the bullet points a bit shorter, just a little bit punchy, straight to the point, so a reader can see what the book is about even faster, and then you could have even more of a description below the bullet points. But the bullet points are usually meant to be one-liners or even half a line, just to really give the reader the data really fast. But otherwise, you're doing great. So that would be my feedback for you. Once again, great job of making sales. So here, unfortunately, we have a book that's not getting any sales. So let's see what we can do to help this publisher out. So looking at the cover looks okay, but it doesn't have quite a professional look or feel to it. I think cover is probably one of the main problems. Also, there's a lot of white in the background here, which also blends into the Amazon page itself, and same with the text here. And this text here, I'm not really the biggest fan of. It's also a little bit small. Let's just open up our Titan AI competitor analysis tool here. And here on the right side, you can also always see the score. So we can see that our AI gave your listing a score of only 41. So that's unfortunately quite low. You definitely want to have it at least 60, ideally over 70. That's where you will start having better results. So looking at the dot makers, so if you look at this one, for example, we can see that there's a lot of colorful, fun text here at the top. So that looks much nicer than when comparing it to this one. And then if you look at the animal here, it also has lots of colors. Yours also has some, but it obviously has less, so this just pops more. looks a bit more interesting. So and the others don't really apply because it's not dot to dot, but this would be a good comparison already. So let's take a look at what our Titan AI is saying about your cover. So here we can see improvements. The subtle text at the bottom is very small and difficult to read. So just like what I said, especially as a thumbnail, which limits the communication of additional valuable information about the book's content. Increasing contrast between the subtitle and background or repositioning it to a clear area could enhance readability. So I fully agree with that. And let's look at the opportunity section here. Adding small colorful dot markers similar to the ones on a deer onto the title or around the border could create a stronger visual connection to the dot marker concept, making the cover even more appealing and instantly recognizable for parents searching for toddler activity books. So I think it's a great tip. I'll do that. Looking at your back cover here, I think you did a great job in showing the images. I would just space them apart a little bit more. They almost look connected. But otherwise, that's really great for doing that. Good job. Looking at your description, I like how long it is, so you can definitely put in effort there. My only suggestion here is putting these benefits at a glance right below this line, because you even say at a glance, but when a person doesn't click on read more, they can't even see it. So it's not really at a glance. So put them at the top and I think you'll do better. Great job for having A+ content here. I really like how that looks. My only suggestion here is changing the color here. That kind of blends in too much with the background. And then maybe adding some shadow around this image so it pops a little bit more from the background. Right now it looks a little bit flat, but I like that you're showing these pages here. That's really great. This one is also good. You could even consider deleting this one here because it doesn't show much. The cover they've already seen, so this image would be much more valuable in terms of getting conversion rates. This one is also nice, but almost feels like there's too much text. Maybe try deleting these black text, just give this design a little bit more breathing room. And then I like this section. This is fun, so good job on that. But no reviews, so that's another thing you want to handle. So if you're struggling with reviews, you can also click on our advanced reader copy review service that we launched recently. That could really help you out. And yeah, otherwise you did great. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so here we have a mermaid's coloring book. I really like the cover. The only thing I would change is the positioning of this text here. You're kind of covering the main element on this coloring book cover, so I would change that. But otherwise, I like the colors. I like the design. I think you did all of that really well. Great job for having 6 example images here. They look like they are really high quality. So that's really good. Your title says Mermaid's Secret Bubble, a magical coloring book for kids. So your main problem for not getting any sales is your title and subtitle, and there's not enough keywords here. So the only keyword we have is coloring book for kids, and that's just too broad. You want to niche down a lot more just so you can get easier rankings, and you want to have a longer title and subtitle just so you can have other kind of subcategories in niches. So maybe coloring book for kids or boys and girls. You can also maybe mention the age group that this is perfect for. Let's just see what our Titan's AI says about your title. Maybe we can get some quick inspiration. So here, the example it gives for an improvement is a magical coloring book for kids, fun underwater adventures. So that's slightly better, but I would still want to see even more keywords. So let's look at our Chrome extension, our Titans Pro. So when you type in a keyword, it's going to populate a lot of Amazon search suggestions and give you the search volume, your competitors, demand and opportunity scores. And then here we can see what might be good. So here already, just looking at this niche, we can see that here we have the age group 4 to 8, 4 to 8, 4 to 8, 4 to 8, same thing here. So maybe that would be a good keyword that could have been in your title. But the key thing is just to go through that and get inspiration, type in other keywords in the search bar, and then you can just use that to get inspiration not only for your 7 backing keywords, but also your subtitle. And then obviously your Amazon ads too. This will be really great for you. Good job for having the 5 bullet points here. The only slight change you could make is give this last one here a bit of space. It's a bit too close to the bullet points. It'll probably make it look a bit nicer. But other than that, that's fine. Okay, and then we don't have any A+ content here. So for a coloring book, this is really important. It did say you published this 17th September, so maybe that's not live yet, but it probably should have been by now. So if you don't have it, please create A+ content. It will really help you. And then you also have no reviews. So once again, if you need reviews, if you don't have any way of doing that, check out the Advanced Reader Copy service on selfpublishingtitans.com. and that will really help you. But other than that, great. So I love the cover. I like your description, looks good. Your back cover is great. So overall, you did good. So make those changes and you'll definitely see better results. So I hope you found this useful. If you are enjoying my daily videos, please give this video a like. Leave a comment down below to help us with the algorithm and just overall support. And then I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.